Sexy Madonna from Florence stands before me in the after-hour street lamp torch, on cobbles of curb, in that crazy bardo space twixt theater and life. She stands opposite me on stones of ancient lane, rife with Lorca in her veins, and the gypsy flamingo clapping, and plumes of palma's dust rising, and zapateado heels snapping, and deep song shadow of duende blood wrapping ghosts around and between us, cantillando. Like a dancing spirit, it hangs over our heads. Like the agony of an animal with 3 spears in its side, it hangs over our heads. Like the blindfolded poet with 7 rifles aimed at his heart, it hangs over our heads. Like the single word, fire! Execution's devolution, assassination of desire. The air is charged with an omphalos hit. What a beautiful show, she says. I could hear Lorca's cries rise from the grave, she says. Sexy Madonna from Florence wears the hanged man on a long chain of devastated pearls, shockwave around her neck. Like a high arcana boa constrictor, I think woman strangled by her own pet tarot card, poisoned by a trader's elixir. Asp, asp, asp. Sexy Madonna from Florence stands restless in a spotlight of Belgian moon full of early spring as she waits all a jitter for her lover to finish his smoke in his black trench coat, tete-a-tete baroque, loquacious, no end to his talk-fest in sight. She shivers with a shudder, shifts from one foot to the other, swathed in a light blue cashmere shawl. I think she's a chrysalis stonewalled. Her lover continues as she smolders frail, so I lift her stole from her shoulders to her head as a hood or a veil. And that's when I espy the perfect tail of her black liquid liner, how she draws down the moon with her eyes. I am close enough to see inside. She is more than Cleopatra's disguise. She might even be Isis. Eyes so deep, they make me afraid to fall into them. I freeze, for her eyes would need an expedition. They are Mariana's Trench, Challenger deep, 36,000 feet. They mesmerize. So suggestive, they are a swinging pocket watch. They induce hypnotic sleep, hypnotic sleep, hypnotic sleep. Entranced, I submerse myself slow, rip current under toe, sense of time-space slips away. Am I an astronomer? I don't know. In mind's eye, I am Leonardo da Vinci's last brushstroke of her eyes. And she is the great-great-great-great-granddaughter of Mona Lisa. Her eyes, her demise, for they will drive men mad with longing and mystery. They are the impossible placebo. I dream of being the surrealist in Paris who plots to steal her eyes from the walls of the Louvre so I can look into Santo Spirito forever. For she is the Mesopotamia magnum opus heiress, older than the stones on which she stands, her eyes a direct line to the original amulet, essence of earth, pyramid of seashell and sands. She says, I will tell you my secrets. I fall further, scrying, can't help myself. She says, and in my dreams. Now, Maybe it was the Lorca show that shifted her shadow so, I don't know. But as she speaks of her dreams in Italian whisper low, it's like her breath lifts from the cave of the crow. Like she goes to Point Nemo, divines herself, and returns with a crazy Nostradamus afterglow. Forward in time to realize who she is, she looks into the unknown. And the hangman swings across her belly, there on the cobblestone, in the chill of the eve's air. As caterpillars look down on us from their freezing branches, their beings transform as if warmed by this Madonna's inner sun. As she breaks through, spiral spun, incredible. It's like she gives birth to herself. Before me, in the nocturne, her head a halo, she lowers her eyes, and she looks into her own vision, her own apparition in which she flies, morphing, mystic. And I can tell you, I cannot believe my eyes. I feel like I'm in a play. And right then, her lover advances, puts his arm around her and says, "It's time to go. Are you cold?" And she says, "I am warm now." And I return to the words of my teacher who said, "You have entered the realm of gold." And now I know what she meant. For I would crush a priceless pearl and drink it to stay in this moment for time. Zingaro, zingaro, zingaro.